All right, man. Talk to talk. You know what it is, man. Good afternoon, everybody. 12 o'clock show. What it is, man. We back, man. Hey, man, I got a special guest today. My boy S up in here. So, look, we going to do this episode talking about all the lies Drake told in his lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into that, I got to get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free, but if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They called me the hidden gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 15,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. And let me know what kingdom you from. So we gonna get into this, man, and we'll be back. Let's get it.
Just recently, Drake and his legal team filed an 81-page lawsuit against UMG. The reason is because of their promotion of Kendrick Lamar's diss track on Drake, Not Like Us. However, instead of just taking the L in his beef with Kendrick, many fans think this is Drake's way of responding to the beef with legal action. But that leaves us with a couple of questions. Like, why is Drake suing UMG? Why isn't he suing Kendrick? And what does Drake hope to gain from this lawsuit? Well, to truly understand why Drake
I'm really interested in the hearing this because I've seen a lot of legal analysis, but most people when I see in these analysis, they either hate Drake or they either hate Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? And nobody really breaks down why, uh, or just goes into depth detail, or they'll just read it. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to see what he has to say about this. What you think so far?
Yeah, I'm wondering, and I've been wondering why he was going this far with this whole situation. I'm very confused because I mean, not too long ago it was all fun and games. It was a rap battle. Now all of a sudden, he's taking legal actions. So I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. So
Drake is suing UMG and whether or not he has any grounds to, we've got to go back to the beginning. Real quick, my name is Matt and I make music related content every single week, so if you guys want to stay in the loop with stuff like this, make sure to subscribe and stick around. Anyways, let's continue. It all started when Kendrick Lamar released his verse on Control. That's a joke. I did an hour-and-a-half long video on the beef. It's on screen right now. If you guys don't know about it by now, you can check that out and be filled in. However, after the beef, I think the majority of people felt like Kendrick had won. His track Not Like Us was breaking records and had everybody yelling certified pedo about Drake. So rather than hit Kendrick back harder with another diss, Drake filed a petition for a lawsuit. The petition was aimed at UMG and Spotify, and basically it accused them of doing illegal things to promote Kendrick's track Not Like Us. It wasn't actually aimed at Kendrick, although it is kind of in a sense, but I'll explain that later. Drake also had some grievances with UMG promoting this song, saying that this song was doing so well, it was costing Drake some streams. The reason that Drake is threatening to sue UMG is because Kendrick is signed to Interscope, which is a subsidiary of Universal Music Group, one of the big three record labels that owns all of the other little record labels. Drake, on the other hand, is signed to Republic Records, which is also a subsidiary of UMG. So basically, Drake feels like UMG was playing favorites. The petition wasn't a lawsuit though. Basically, this just means that he wanted them to gather information before an actual lawsuit was filed. The petition said, in 2024, UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices to break through the noise on Spotify and likely other music platforms. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves with a song, Not Like Us, in order to make that song go viral, including by using bots and pay-to-play agreements. So throughout this
okay, so I'm gonna say this. I think that Drake has some type of evidence that this stuff been going on, but I'm gonna explain before people say, "Well, he has evidence." What you mean? I mean by he's gonna have to indict himself on these
Mm.
things. So if he has evidence of this is happening, that means that he's snitching on himself as well. So he will be like, well, I know they do it because they did it for me. You know what I'm saying? I know they do that because I did it. And when I wanted my song to go viral, they did it for me. Because he has no problem, what's the name, even though it would work against him. But the whole point of this whole thing is, I don't want Kendrick to perform this at the Super Bowl. But that's not going to happen because he's going to perform it at the Super Bowl. And I'll be honest with you, I think Drake's going to drop this suit right after the Super Bowl. I think he's going to not go for that. I think he's going to drop it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy because isn't this a common practice amongst the record labels as far as the artists, like boosting up their streams and stuff like that, like just adding a little bit onto it because I've seen a couple of clips, from other artists and other execs and just some behind the scenes stuff on how they like view artists and get artists to be popping when they really not, or just to do certain things to manipulate the system. And they said this is a common practice. They said they do it on YouTube, they do it on Spotify, they do it on all the major platforms. So it's like he is going to be snitching on himself, but is that what it's going to take for him to be satisfied? Is that what it is? Like him throwing himself under the bus as well?
I'm thinking he's willing to burn the whole system down because he can't get his way. You know how that kid is, the kid that loses the basketball game and they take their ball home and now nobody can play. Like that's him, man. You know what I'm saying? He get crossed over, broke ankle. Oh, my ankle. Oh, nah, bro, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Nah, I'm out of here. Give me my ball. You know what I'm saying? That's him, bro.
Old petition, they claim that Spotify got licensing deals from UMG to promote the song more than usual. They said that Siri would redirect you to Not Like Us when you asked to play Certified Lover Boy, and they also accused UMG of Radio Payola. One of the most interesting claims, though, was the claim about bots, because the only source cited was a DJ ADDICTZ interview on YouTube. Basically, ADDICTZ interviewed a kid who claimed to have been paid by Kendrick's team to bot 30 million plays on the track Not Like Us.
Is you could actually set up a bunch of fake phones, let's say Samsung devices, because device does matter, and what you're viewing it on, it can all be seen by Spotify. So what you would do is you want premium accounts, so like free plays, free trials, those don't work. So what you would do is you would get a gift card, you would set it up to a bunch of phones, and phones, I mean, like, you could emulate them. People can make fake phones off computers and servers and devices and computers and laptops. And
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why that's a lie, right? So this is how you know people just make stuff up. So he literally said in the beginning of that, they know what phones you are using. You know what I'm saying? Then he said you can make fake phones. You can emulate phones. Okay, so then what you need a real phone for? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense if you can emulate them.
That's why I was laughing.
like, what are you talking about? Okay, maybe he's explaining it wrong because I'm a tech guy, but there's people better than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it. I'm really good. And there's people better than me, so I'm just gonna say, okay, maybe he has a point. But I'm just saying that whole interview was nuts. I don't know if you've seen that, but
nah. I get what he's saying with some of the stuff. Like, you can use other devices as a phone to make phone calls because I've done it. But the rest of the stuff, I'm not quite following what he's saying.
Well, what he's trying to say is what they did was, what he did, not UMG. What he did was Kendrick team reached out to him. Kendrick team. It wasn't even Kendrick's team. It was somebody that worked under Kendrick's team. They reached out to him and they paid him. They were supposed to pay him $5,000. They gave him $2,500 and they said, "We need you to bot this. We need you to bot this song. We need this." So this is what the guy's saying. He's saying, I believe he said that for 30 million streams, he wanted $5,000. That don't make sense. I think it was something like that, or 10 million or something, right? So, but then he said, well, it didn't really matter if I bought it the song, because the song, it was going to go crazy anyway. He said it's a good song. So he said that he did it for them. They paid him half the money. They gave him $2,500. So he reached back out to them and said, "Where's the rest of my money yet?" And they said they wasn't selling. So he went on ADDICTZ. So then he says to ADDICTZ, he contacted Drake. So ADDICTZ said, "Well, why did you contact Drake?" He said, "Well, I wanted to contact him and ask him, like, well, why I didn't get paid my money." So my thing is, wait a minute, dog. Why are you contacting Drake about a Kendrick song? That doesn't make sense. You're contacting Drake and asking Drake why they didn't pay you the rest of your money. You know that them two are beefing. What's the point of you contacting Drake? That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So that whole story to me but that's what he's going to use in the case. He cited that in the case. That guy. And that guy's going to show up. If they go to trial, because this might go to trial. If this goes to trial, if they don't settle out of court, they're going to have Kendrick Lamar in court, bro. They're going to have Kendrick Lamar in court. They're going to have Drake in court. Because he's going to have to explain what the lyrics mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, UMG's going to ask, they're going to say he's their witness. You're going to have to come because he wrote the song. You know what I'm saying? So he comes to court, right? Kendrick comes to court. And he on the stand. Can you imagine this? And if this is a public trial, oh my God, bro, this is gonna be crazy. I don't think it's gonna be public, but I'm just saying it would be hilarious if it was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so let's keep it going.
Pretty much just replay that so it looks like it's a play, and you play it for at least a minute of the song, or you could do the full song, and you just have it going in the background thousands and thousands and thousands of times.
For context, though, and I'm saying this objectively, I don't think DJ ADDICTZ is a great source. He's been wrong multiple times, and he lies quite often, and he's also a ginormous Drake fan, so clearly he's pretty biased. And that whole kid claiming that he had the Kendrick song botted was pretty much debunked already. So this was definitely not the greatest source for this petition. At first, people were very surprised that after a rap beef, Drake decided to petition for a lawsuit, which resulted in a lot of people clowning on Drake. And as you'll see, most people on the internet, they're clowning Drake here, the red button thing. I don't know if you guys remember that. Someone said this is Drake's January 6th. Stop the streams. That's a clip from my second channel, by the way. I'll link it below. I plan on posting there more often. UMG responded to these claims, though, saying, "The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. No amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music they want to hear. However, I do believe some bots were used, and I'll tell you why." I made a video a while ago talking about how common bots are in the music industry, and that pretty much every artist has their music botted by their labels, even if it's without their knowledge. Multiple labels have been caught doing it, multiple whistleblowers have talked about it, and I even had an artist tell me privately that their label botted their streams without their permission. Obviously, I'm not going to go into detail on that. I don't want to put that out there, but it's true. You guys can trust me. So like I said, I did a whole video on this, but the gist of it, if you don't believe.
All right, so I'm gonna explain how this thing works, because I think a lot of y'all are misinformed when it comes to botting, right? Or all these things, right? So this is the thing, right? The reason why I think botting is not a bad thing, I ain't gonna say a bad thing. I'm gonna say you won't never know, right? But here's the biggest thing. If me and S decided that we like the song "Rich Spirit" by Kendrick Lamar, let's say it's on YouTube, right? We like that song. So what we said was we're gonna go to Fiverr? We're going to go to Fiverr. And with Fiverr, what we'll do is we'll put some money. We'll take that clip of the video and it says, "Get organic views for $10. 30,000 views for $100. And we say, you know what? S, you got 2,000, I got 2,000. We like this song, Rich Spirit. Let's put it behind the Kendrick Lamar song, right? And that song gets 2 million views on YouTube extra. But here's the thing. Kendrick Lamar didn't ask us to do that. We literally can do that for any video. You can boost any video no matter what it is. All you have to do is take the link, send it to the person on Fiverr, and they'll take that link and they'll have people view that link. Now, there's a bunch of different ways they view it. Some people, if you look at it, you'll see the views from India or something like that, right? And they'll watch the video. They get incentives because what they'll do is they'll take the video and it'll be, I don't know, a 20-second clip. And after 20 seconds, you have a chance to win a $500 prize. All you have to do is watch 20 seconds, every video, click off of it after 20 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they do. This is what these promotional companies do. Promoter is another one. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of companies that take the link from YouTube and they it's organic because people are watching the video. They just not your fans and they only watching it for 3 seconds or 10 seconds or 20 seconds and they clicking off of it. You know what I'm saying? So this is the issue that I think a lot of people don't understand about the whole botting thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been going on. Now, another thing about bots is they have what they call streaming farms. Now, this been going on. This been when streaming first came out. I actually seen one. It was literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of phones. I'm talking like hundreds of phones. And they play the songs over and over again. But it's no different. That's no different from an artist selling 2 tickets at a show and saying he sold 1 million when he gave one away. You know what I'm saying? So if I say I sold 1 million tickets, but I really only sold 500,000 tickets or whatever, and I gave one away for free, it counts as 2. It's just no different. It's manipulation. That they've been doing this. The record industry has been manipulating things since then. So I know it was a long tangent, but I had to keep it going.
Do you think that's what that guy was trying to explain when he was talking about the whole phone thing?
Well, are we gonna listen to it right now? We'll listen to it, and I'll tell you. And then you could talk after that.
Okay.
Is that a lot of labels, probably every label, has used bots at some point. Here, the streaming service Deezer said 7% of streams on their platform are fraudulent, and like this article says, that's just what they can identify. Another company that distributes for streaming services says that they believe 10% of all global streams are fraudulent. So the whole point of this video was for me to say, you know, most of the time the artists don't even want this to happen. It's the labels that actually are doing it. But regardless, it is happening. So that's kind of why it makes sense that Drake, if this is happening, is targeting UMG and not directly Kendrick. And the problem with this petition is that botting is very common and Drake likely already knew about it. So the fact that he chose to care about it after getting beat in the diss battle is exactly why I think it's stupid for Drake to bring that up in the first place. If Drake truly cared about the music industry and artists being treated fairly, he would have brought this up years ago. Regardless, after the first petition, Drake filed another one, this time aimed at UMG and iHeartRadio. It was basically the same claims, saying that UMG was paying iHeart to promote the song more than they would any other song. Then Spotify responded to Drake's claims, saying, "The predicate of petitioner's entire request for discovery from Spotify is false. Spotify and UMG have never had any such arrangement." Drake's team then responded to this by saying, "It is not surprising that Spotify is trying to distance themselves from UMG's allegedly manipulative practices to artificially inflate streaming numbers on behalf of one of its other artists." And then for a while, it was silence. Also, it isn't just the music.
Hey, your joint is off.
Uh,
Yeah. So what you think about that?
Well, it's the same thing I've been thinking. Like, you know, he wants to he wants to indict himself, you know, and take everybody along with him. Like that's just what it is, man. I don't understand. What I don't understand is that, like, I would just I wish I could be like probe the inside of his brain and see what he's thinking,
Yeah.
because like he literally asked this guy to come outside and let's battle. He battles with the guy. He gets mollywopped. Then all of a sudden, when things don't go his way, he's now in this whole situation of suing labels, Kendrick, whatever he's planning on doing, and it don't make any sense to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you basically started this. You started it. You started it. You put yourself in this situation, and for some reason he can't understand why this looks so stupid. He it's like he don't get it. It's dumb. It's dumb. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I honestly don't think he's gonna win this court case. I don't think he's gonna win. And if he does, it still looks stupid. Because it's like, oh wow, you won a court case because you was in a battle and you lost
Yeah.
and you cried about it. Wow. Whoop de doo. Like,
Yeah. He's definitely on some bitch made shit. Like it's crazy. It really is. It really is.
like another thing. Imagine in battle rap, Loaded Lux, battling Murder Mook, because they did battle. But what I'm saying is that them battling each other, right? And then he goes off and he goes, yo, I'm snitching on you, Mook. I'm snitching. I'm telling everybody that you did this and you did that. You and Smack was in cahoots with one another and y'all plotted against me.
Yeah.
And that's why the fans didn't like. Imagine that, man. It's gonna look crazy. Like, what? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Not saying he would do that. We know he wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, like, it's gonna look madness. Like, what are we talking about here, man? Like, it's
Yeah.
a rap battle. So
Yeah. It's one of those things, man. It's like an unexplained phenomenon from Drake's part. So you don't know. Oh.
Music industry that has to worry about bots. Even you could have some bots that steal your information while you're online, and you can make sure that your time on the internet is private with Proton. As you guys know, there's many pitfalls on the internet, whether it be a bajillion ads on every website, description to take advantage of this deal. And now let's get back to the video. Again though, these were just petitions leading up to a lawsuit, and it wasn't until January 15th, just the other day, when Drake and his team finally filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group. It's an 81-page lawsuit with a variety of very serious claims against UMG, Kendrick Lamar, and many others. And again, I want to specify the suit actually specifies they're not suing Kendrick, they're just suing Universal. However, a lot of this obviously applies to Kendrick. You'll see what I mean. Right before filing the suit, Drake dropped the petition against UMG and Spotify, but left the one for UMG and iHeart. In the lawsuit, he made a few claims against Universal. First, it touched on what we already mentioned, which is how UMG allegedly used multiple ways to promote Not Like Us, many of which were illegal. Things like botting, payola, and all that stuff. This lawsuit also used the ADDICTZ clip as a source again, which I just thought was funny. And I really hope that
See what I mean? I told you. So he's going off of what he heard, and they're gonna bring that same dude to court to testify. And guess who else is gonna testify? ADDICTZ. But you know what else was crazy? There's a stream ADDICTZ did the day after that where he said, I talked to somebody from Spotify, one of my guys from Spotify, and they said no, it was never botted. That was actually real streams. So this is the reason why I believe ADDICTZ and Drake are not on really good terms, because this is why he's saying to Drake, like, this is not good, bro. And Drake is don't care. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, man. We're gonna keep it going.
more proof for this stuff than what's cited in the actual suit, because a lot of it is just not good sources. The lawsuit also pointed out a few specific creators because UMG took the copyright off of this song so more people would react to it and promote it. And it called out creators like Kai Cenat, RDC, and more. A few fans pointed out that Drake went after all black YouTubers while plenty of white YouTubers reacted to it as well. And I do want to clarify though that none of these creators are in any sort of trouble or anything. Drake is just saying that because UMG took the copyright off of that song, it incentivized them to react to it more than they maybe normally would have because they're actually going to get some money from it. Although from personal experience,
Nah, nigga. Nah, bro. You ain't gonna let you slide with that one. Nah, bro. Bro. We ain't gonna let you slide with that. You ain't gonna sit here and tell me, no. I mean, no. I understand he ain't defending Drake. I'm just saying, bro. Bro, you only name the black content creators, bro. You only name them. even if you ain't suing them, you still only name them.
Yeah.
There's like you didn't name, bro. You literally didn't name What's the Dirt. What's the Dirt literally did a whole series about you. He did a whole series. And in the series he did in Euphoria, in 616, he broke down everything. And he reacted to Not Like Us, I believe. The biggest streamer, the biggest YouTuber, Anthony Fantano, you didn't name him. You didn't name Knox Hill. You didn't name the other bull. You didn't name the white girl that does the streams. The one that be like, Drake's a bitch. You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, you gotta send me the link.
You a bitch. He's such a fucking bitch. She's from down south, right? She funny. You know what I'm saying? Then name her. All these other people. You name all black streamers. All the top black streamers too. Like, and the one dude you named, they not even really reactors. They're political streamers. It's like, come on, bro. What we doing here? It's crazy. Yeah, we're going to finish this out.
I can tell you that they stopped doing that pretty quick because all my shit got claimed immediately. But anyways, I read through all 81 pages of the lawsuit to find out at the very end they have 3 major claims that basically sum up the whole thing. So let me break them down. The first major claim is defamation. They did have a bunch of evidence for this, although you'd think Kendrick would be the one being sued rather than UMG. Regardless, in the suit they cited a poll that said Drake's favorability had gone down. Drake's legal team quoted a bunch of lyrics from Not Like Us, like Kendrick saying things like certified pedos, and they said that this was Kendrick defaming Drake. They also pointed to the cover of the song, which is Drake's house with a bunch of pedo symbols on it. They show a bunch of comments saying that people just view Drake as a pedo now, along with a bunch of memes comparing Drake to people like Jeffrey Epstein. They put all of this in the suit to demonstrate that members of the public believe and repeat the false allegation. So yeah, I'm sure you guys get the gist of this section. The second major claim is harassment in the second degree. They actually opened the lawsuit with this argument, with the first few pages being about this. The lawsuit states, in the middle of the night on May 7th, 2024, an armed group of assailants drove up to the Toronto house in which Drake and his family resided. Drake was inside. The car stopped in front of the residence, someone yelled "fuck Drake," and at least one gunman began to open fire. They went on to say that his security guard was hit and actually barely survived. Then the suit says, the very next day, May 8th, 2024, a different intruder used his bare hands to dig a hole under the security fence surrounding Drake's Toronto house. He managed to dig deep enough to squeeze through and enter Drake's property. The trespasser managed to yell racist slurs and threats against Drake before being escorted off the property. On May 9th, 2024, the very next day, another break-in attempt happened. In the 2 decades leading up to May of 2024, although Drake was constantly in the public eye, nothing remotely like these events had ever happened to him or his family. Basically, they were saying that Not Like Us.
That's a complete lie. They're literally on record, people doing things to Drake's house because they know he's been had this. Now, here's why this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. You can't put us all on Kendrick because you had beef with like 20. Remember, you said this is a 20v1. Remember? Remember, you said it was 20 versus you. So if it's 20 of them versus you, you can't put that on him. And on top of that, you got multiple beefs that you've been dissing people out throughout the years. They're going to bring all this stuff up. Like, yeah. What you think about that?
Yeah, so somebody actually dug a hole under his gate and got through and then just screamed out racial slurs.
That's a
All
lie,
for
yo.
racial slur. Yo, I know it's a lie, but I'm just saying, like, that don't make no sense. So I'm going to take time out of my day. I'm going to dig a hole. I'm going to dive under the gate. F you, Drake.
What type of racial slurs did he call him, though? That's what we need to know. We need to know, what did he call you? Did he which? Because you are both ethnicities. So what did he call you?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Because you said, when Kendrick said we don't want to hear you say nigga no more, you said, nigga, I know that you know that you're mad. Like you so obviously you don't care about that word. So which one was it?
Yeah, right.
I
would like to know.
Come on, bro. Like, for real.
This was literally inciting violence against Drake. And obviously these all happening right after the diss, like I could see how that kind of maybe inspired it, but that's not UMG's fault, that's not Kendrick's fault, that's just crazy fans doing crazy things. They also said in the suit, the refrain that Drake is not like us, the recording alludes to Drake's Jewish heritage, saying that Drake is not a colleague but a fucking colonizer, which I think it's pretty crazy to say that Kendrick was referring to Drake being Jewish. Pretty obviously he was talking about Drake not being a part of the culture, but they use this as an opportunity to call Kendrick anti-Semitic. One fan actually responded to this part of the lawsuit.
So you call a man anti-Semitic? First of all, I don't remember. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about the Jews in slaves. The Jews owned slaves. I don't think they were the slaves. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Listen, I ain't too versed. I'm versed in a lot of things, but maybe I'm not versed in the history of Jews. I'm not. So I'm not going to sit here and talk crazy on Jews because I don't talk crazy on people. I'm just saying I don't know the history of that. I'm just saying it's just weird to me that you would say that he's being anti-Semitic because he's using the term not like us as that. I mean, to be honest with you, Drake could use the same term too. Like, I don't understand why he feel like he like, I don't know, maybe it's one of those terms, but I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's real weird. It's real weird, but
It's a rough one.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm good.
No, I'm saying it's rough, man. It's rough. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Saying, as a Jewish person, I'm pissed at Drake for trying to call anti-Semitism on Not Like Us. He's never been vocal on Jewish issues. He's never talked about systemic anti-Semitism. He's never done anything except use his Jewish heritage as a coat dressing in his music videos the same way as he's done with other cultures. Finally, the third major claim was that UMG violated the New York General Business Law 349, which basically just means that Drake is saying UMG used deceptive acts in their promotion of the song. The suit claimed that by devaluing Drake's music and brand, UMG would gain leverage to force Drake to sign a new deal on terms more favorable to UMG. They said this because Drake is apparently renegotiating his deal with Universal this year. However, they don't really have much proof, at least in the lawsuit, for this statement. But this whole lawsuit begs the question, why would Drake actually go through with this lawsuit? I mean, he's gotta know how this makes him look after losing the beef, right? And also, what does Drake even stand to gain from this? Well, Drake and his team asked for a few things at the end of the lawsuit. First, they asked for damages and attorney fees, lawsuit fees, and all that sort of stuff to be paid for, which is pretty normal. But then he asked for UMG to apologize and I guess take back what they said or promoted. After that, they asked for injunctive relief enjoining UMG for making statements about the popularity of the recording, image, or video that it knows to be false based on fake streams or pay for play. This means that they want UMG to acknowledge that they had fake streams and payola to make the song go viral. Basically, Drake just wants them to stop pushing these ideas that are hurting his image, and also acknowledge that they allegedly pushed the song in illegal ways. So this lawsuit is very crazy, and Drake made some major claims against his own record label. Drake was saying that this song caused physical violence on him, endangered his family, destroyed his reputation, hurt his income, was orchestrated by UMG so they could renegotiate his deal at a lower price, and all sorts of things. And obviously, these bold statements forced UMG to respond. Universal responded by saying, not only are these claims untrue, but the notion that we would seek to harm the reputation of any artist, let alone Drake, is illogical. We have invested massively in his music, and our employees around the world have worked tirelessly for many years to help him achieve historic commercial and personal financial success. Throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry to engage in conventional, outrageous, back and forth rap battles to express his feelings about other artists. He now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. And not to be the guy that's sticking up for the label here, but that does make sense. I mean, what else is the label supposed to do? Not let their own artists say whatever they want to say? And on top of that, they've let Drake say what he wanted to say about plenty of other artists. Take Rick Ross, The Weeknd, his whole beef with Pusha T. They let him do all of that and they didn't have any problems. And now Drake comes in looking a little hypocritical when he takes an issue with Kendrick and Universal. So really, this entire situation just resulted in more people clowning on Drake. Billboard even put out an article saying Drake's latest lawsuit isn't hip-hop. And it's true. Drake took tons of shots at Kendrick that were pretty rough, like saying that Kendrick hit his wife or was out of his kids' lives. But then he decided to sue Kendrick when Kendrick's track was hurling just as many serious accusations, but it got more plays. Others have said that Drake is scared to sue Kendrick, or people like Sean C, for example, have suggested that Drake is too prideful to sue Kendrick. Maybe because he was self-aware enough to know that suing Kendrick directly would look way worse than suing the label. And even back when Drake put out the petitions, UMG was like, you should be suing Kendrick, not us. They even said that they'd help him sue Kendrick, not them.
The lawsuit is not about the artist who created Not Like Us, of course, because your pride wouldn't allow you to sue Kendrick Lamar, who you would undoubtedly have a much stronger case against than UMG. And when I say much stronger, I don't mean he would win or even get anywhere. I'm just saying that it would be more reasonable to sue the man that actually wrote the lyrics as opposed to the company that allowed him to release it. It is instead entirely about UMG.
Sean C, as you just saw, covered this topic recently, and I think he had a great perspective. He was just saying, similar to what UMG was saying, that Drake's entire argument doesn't make sense for one reason.
Why would UMG, who has given Drake so much money and also received so much money as a result of the music that Drake's been making from the infancy of his career, what benefit would it be to UMG, who still needs Drake to sell records on their label, to damage his reputation, preventing him from being able to do the thing that will make not only Drake but UMG, the company who's funding him, more money? Do you really think that they think that they'll be making and recouping more money off of the Not Like Us record than they will off of another 4 or 5 Drake albums? Use your head.
However, at the same time, you gotta wonder, if Drake didn't think that he actually had a case here, would he actually be suing his own record label and making his image even worse? Or does he actually have some grounds to do this? Well, I think only time will tell, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you want.
So here's the thing, and this is what I think. The reason why. A couple of questions I got before we get out of here. One thing I want to say is the reason why I think Drake ain't go after Kendrick is 2 reasons. One is because that is a total violation. What I mean, like, if you dissing Kendrick and then you sue him because of a diss track, yeah, your career is 100% over. Nobody would take you serious. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, this boy's suing people. And that's 1. 2, well, I think it's 3. 2, I believe that he really don't have grounds to sue Kendrick because this is all artist expression. He can go after the record label because he could say the record label promoted it, but he can't really go after the artist who wrote it, because then the artist who wrote it can go after him for the stuff that he wrote. Then all of these artists can go after each other for the stuff you wrote. I believe that is a law in place to protect artists from stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So he can't really go after Kendrick like that. He can go after the label. And 3, I think he only trying to muddy the waters. I don't think he really believe he's gonna win this. I think he just want to just do this because he know that he can keep the conversation going in a way where not like us doesn't seem like it's actually real. Because if he was to win the case, then people gonna say, well, the reason why not like us is so big because the labels helped him get it that way. But my argument is, well, isn't that what the label's supposed to do? like, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your argument would be debunked either way. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's looking at it like from the point of view like, I'm the biggest guy. There's no way in the world that this guy can be bigger than me. That's how Drake's looking at it. So,
Well, well, if that's exactly what he's thinking, then that could be debunked too, because we seen what happened with Not Like Us. We seen what happened with all these other things like that. Those tracks, the year of Kendrick itself, just pushed back Drake like 5 years. It pushed him back like 5 years. Literally pushed him back like 5 years. Like, what was the last album he did 5 years ago?
5 years ago, Drake?
Yeah.
I believe it's crazy. I believe Certified Lover Boy was 5 years ago.
Okay,
I
so
believe
it
it was
pushed him
Certified
back.
Lover Boy. Let me see. Hey Siri, when did Certified Lover Boy come out? Yeah, well, it's 4 years ago.
Okay, pushed him back for. He literally took a good chunk of years off of Drake, and he just pushed him back. He just pushed him way back. You know what I'm saying? Pushed him to the back of the line. So it's like, at the end of the day, like, he's basically to me it's a losing battle for him. It's a losing battle for him even if he wins this case in court. It's still a losing battle for him because the culture itself is still not going to accept it. He could win this. He could possibly win this case, right? And the culture itself, the hip hop culture, all his fans, whoever, they still won't accept it.
But you
They
notice
still
he
won't
ain't
accept it.
asking for no money.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Man,
He only asked for his attorney fees. That's it. But he didn't say, I'm suing y'all for all this money. Now, obviously, they're going to give him money for damages or whatever. But his whole thing is he want them to admit that they helped Kendrick beat him. That's all he want them to admit. Because then if he says that, he can say, well, the reason why I got beat is because of them. You know what I'm saying? They had to help him win. That's his whole thing.
But
That's his whole thing.
man, but that's BS though, because like we all listen to the songs, bro.
We know it's BS. But here's the crazy part about it. The song is a certified diamond song now. There's nothing he could say. It's over, Drake. It's over, bro. Like, I don't know why I just don't understand. It's over, bro. It's no point. It's over, bro. It's over. So, who knows, man. But yeah, man, we out of here, man. Thank y'all for joining me, man. I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going, man. See y'all. Peace. Bye.